Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start the drive with Washington. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On second down, it's Washington. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third play in this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Mike 5-4. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Check back.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. The stop was made by Jannard Avery. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Set, ready. Get the bag. 54. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Check.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And the catch made by Hilton. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 76 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down now, Pollard. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play. The pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
14.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with his second TD of the game. His sixth on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Lambeau on for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
Next to score, Seahawks 21.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And a rout is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson. Buying time to his left. And his throw here's incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Check three, check three.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Hilton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Watch twist. Watch twist. SOS, SOS, SOS.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Pollard. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
3rd down and 11.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the toss play, this is Washington. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Watch the safety creep. Check 50. Check 50.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. That's right, baby. They don't want it. 25, check 25, check 25. Why? Give me that.
This time Wilson will throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100-1. And it's not looking good for him here.
Slam. 6 guys.
They go with Washington to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, Washington. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Watkins that time, and now it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Switch gears. Kill.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Look left. Hey, alert. Mike 20.
He'll find Metcalf. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Mike's 56. Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
To throw again is Wilson. There goes a deep ball in, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't...
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Jannard Avery in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They go play action now. Jackson, and he's going to go down again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
It's now 3rd down.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs. Small. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4". Strip the ball.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Looking deep for Hilton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
At their own 28-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check. Hey, 0.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
I got you, boy. Let's go double count right here, double count. Hey, watch the ship. Alert 3. Hey, alert 3. 14. Short.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys who try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Jackson now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now left side on the swing pass, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Looking deep for Hilton. And it's knocked away and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
A gain of 12 yards brings up 4th down.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. That's complete. It's Collins. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
It's a short kick taken near the 18. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Second half, pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Now he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Slam. Check.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the slant. Hey, watch it.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
2 yards. It's 3rd down and 5.
Set. 50. Hey, no. Mike 54. You're right. It's great. Check him. Leo. Check.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Now here's a pass on 1st down. It's knocked away and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Got it. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Bang. 19. Bang.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 1st down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
1st down, Seahawks.
Quick edge. Come. Hold up. Screen,
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
380. 56 is the mic. Front left. Go. 40. Kill.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now we're blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. On third down, it's Pollard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The 20. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Lambo to add on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Seahawks 45, Ravens 3.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Yo. 80 weapon. Ready, go.
Martinez going to throw again. He's going to take off with it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To throw is Martinez from the gun on third down. There he goes right side. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
The Ravens take over.
Here we go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
To throw on third down, Martinez. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Seahawks on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
He's coming.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
You ain't doing nothing today.
And they're going to have this in a great spot. Wait. Down in Baltimore territory.
Let's go. At the 10-yard line. First and goal at the 10-yard line.
So now, following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, It's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Martinez. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own.